Good day. Does God exist? Well, not yet, one thinker answers. We'll get to that in a minute. Are we seeing a new religion emerge? Well, maybe, maybe not. Let's explore. Transhumanism advocates the proactive use of breakthrough technologies that we've introduced in other videos to radically enhance humans physically and in other ways. The new religious movement, NRM field of study, is robust with journals, conferences, scholars specializing, studies of People's Temple to the Hare Krishna movement, and myriad of other new religious movements. They were once referred to as cults, but new religious movement is the new terminology. Some new religious movements have ceased to exist. People's Temple, for example, they drank the Kool-Aid. Others, Hare Krishna, have persisted long enough that their trajectory, at least in the foreseeable future, is unlikely to shift much. And the technologies of transhumanism are rapidly evolving, allowing both transhumanism and any associated religious movements to develop quickly and unpredictably. Consequently, it is impossible to draw definitive conclusions about how the story of transhumanism and religion will unfold. Nevertheless, I outline here five, and do it quickly, plausible trajectories. Number one, transhumanism as a new religious movement. So there are implicit religious ideas in transhumanism. Religion scholars are pretty good at unearthing these. As religions do, transhumanists see humans as being in some sort of predicament, and for them, human nature is bound by what evolution has given us and all the limitations that come with that. Salvation for transhumanists would be a solution to this predicament, which is biotechnology. Eschatology, what is the hope and plan for how it all is going to end up? Well, humans will transcend our limitations via technology. So transhumanism is not yet a new religious movement, but there are elements there that make it very interesting to follow. So a second possible scenario is that transhumanism becomes embedded in existing religions. And we can approach this by saying, should it become embedded and will it? And one answer is no, it should not ever. And if the authors Thomas and Nita Horn have anything to do with it, it never will. They write books with the longest titles I've ever seen, and the titles will give you a sense of how they articulate their no that Christianity and transhumanism are irreconcilable. Here's a title: Forbidden Gates: How Genetics, Robotics, AI, Synthetic Biology, Nanotechnology, and Human Enhancement herald the dawn of techno-dimensional warfare. How's this one? Pandemonium's Engine. Pandemonium's Engine: How the Church Age, the Rise of Transhumanism, and the Coming of the Superman herald Satan's final and imminent assault on the creation of God. So no, that's one answer. But there are other answers, yes, answers. There are theological resources in the religions that would allow them to embrace transhumanism. I'll just give an example of Christianity. A couple of examples. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, a paleontologist and Roman Catholic theologian and priest, is a good example of someone whose vision can align with that of transhumanism. In Teilhard's evolutionary vision, he sees it as driven by love. The fundamental energy of the universe, that's love, in that energy, matter evolves to humanity and eventuates in the omega point, as he calls it. The omega point is the culmination and unification of consciousness and complexity. Now, Teilhard was a Roman Catholic, but his ideas could be modified to be compatible with the pantheism of the karmic religions like Hinduism and Buddhism. Another theological resource within Christianity that could also work with other religions is process thought. Alfred North Whitehead, mathematician and philosopher, the basic idea of process is everything changes all the time. Now, of course, Whitehead had a more complicated articulation, but that's the basic idea. And theologians have adapted this basic notion of process to Christian theology. It's called process theology, and it views God and all the different doctrines through the lens of process and change. That too, process theology provides a fertile ideological soil for transhumanism to embed in some existing religions, Christianity at least. And I won't talk much about it here, but there are emerging structures already. Two good examples are the Mormon Transhumanist Association. There are reasons why the Latter-day Saints theology is very compatible with transhumanism. And another organization called the Christian Transhumanist Association. And in full disclosure, I am an academic advisor to the CTA. A third scenario is that transhumanism in itself becomes the apex of religion, with traditional religion receding to the background. So my best example here is Ray Kurzweil, arguably the leading transhumanist visionary and practitioner. Fascinating quote from Kurzweil. When asked, does God exist? His answer, not yet. So how does this fit into his thinking? Well, in his most influential book, The Singularity is Near, When Humans Transcend Biology, it came out in 2005. Kurzweil, in 652 pages, details the 6 past and predicted epochs or time periods of increasing order on Earth. Okay, first, physics and chemistry. Second, biology and DNA. Third, brains. Fourth, technology. Fifth epoch is the merger of human technology with human intelligence. And that leads to the sixth, which is a mystical formulation, the universe wakes up. So in his sequel, 2024 sequel, The Singularity is Nearer, when we merge with AI, Epoch 5, Intelligence and Technology, sets the stage for Epoch 6, When the Universe Wakes Up. And here, this is visionary and almost mystical. Superintelligent life form. Superintelligence is not mystical. It may very well come, many think, but in his vision, superintelligent life, born from the union of humans and machines, will not be confined to Earth. Instead, it will expand outward, gradually saturating and reorganizing the matter and energy of the universe itself to maximize intelligence and computational capacity. A spiritual eschatology. He does not use the word religion or spiritual, but it sounds very much like that word would work. So one scenario is transhumanism is successful enough that it takes the place of religion, becomes the apex of religion, and traditional religion recedes. A fourth scenario is that transhumanism is both a new religious movement and becomes embedded. They're not mutually exclusive, those two trajectories. And then the fifth and last scenario is that we see the birth of new religion generated by posthuman and or advanced AI. So you want to think about this on a continuum. You got normal humans who are, someone has said, irreformably religious. Not all humans, but certainly as a species. We have religion. And then on this continuum, we have enhanced humans or transhuman, and to the degree that they have human impulse, then they will have religion. But then we move to post-human, and the emergence of new religious systems, perhaps generated by post-humans and or advanced AI that achieves consciousness. This is particularly challenging to think about because it attempts to map the future of religion onto entities not yet existing. So my 2026 Cambridge University Press book with my Canadian colleague Tracy J. Trothan expounds in detail on all of the possibilities and trajectories that we have detailed in this video. Those are transhumanism as a new religious movement embedded in existing religions, the apex of religion with traditional religion fading, and both new religious movement and embedded, and finally, brand new religion created by post-humans. Thank you.